Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before I start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, everybody is having a powerful Friday, man. Hopefully, y'all had a powerful week, man. So, what's the word? How y'all living? How y'all feeling, man? How y'all living? How y'all feeling on this wonderful Friday, man? We got some important things to discuss today, man. But I'm gonna give y'all a chance to populate the chat before I start venting and letting loose. Y'all know how it go. So let me know how y'all living and feeling, man, before I start going into the subject matter. Montel, peace. What's happening? Renzo, my brother, peace. Everything is good my way, Montel. Deja, peace, queen. What's happening? What's the word? Yeah, we gonna build on the artificial reality. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what we talking about. The artificial reality, AR. You know they got artificial intelligence. We talking about the artificial reality. All of these robots out here, aka these humans. Y'all interact with them on a daily basis. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Blind, deaf, and dumb. No knowledge of self at all. It's hard dealing with these people, man. Justin Peace, what's happening? Slay Peace, what's the word? Beast by Bless Zone Out. Peace, what's happening? Magic Peace, what's the word? Deja, you already know. You already know. And I'm gonna tell y'all what inspired this particular stream, man. I was watching some ODB clips, man. Y'all know ODB wasn't afraid to be himself and speak his mind. And I was watching ODB when he was on MTV years ago. Years ago when ODB was on MTV and they was doing like a little interview or whatever the case may be. I forgot what that show was called, man. But ODB was on there with like Cannabis and Maya, and it was somebody else on that joint. And they asked all of those artists about speaking their mind. They asked the artists about speaking their mind, and Cannabis answered first. Then ODB wanted to add his 2 cents in before the caller that asked that question got a chance to hang up. And ODB started off that joint talking about he believed the government killed Tupac and Biggie. Right there on MTV, man. He said nobody can change his mind. Like ODB done had a lot of moments to where he literally spoke his mind on those type of platforms where it wasn't popular. It's never popular to speak your mind on that level on those type of platforms at all. You know, so ODB got right there on MTV and was like, you know what, the government killed Tupac and Biggie and nobody can change my mind. Not too many artists, not too many people in general would ever get on a platform and speak the truth to power like that. And what was crazy when ODB was pretty much talking on this particular interview, the people in the audience were just laughing. So y'all know, if y'all know anything about ODB, y'all know a lot about his history, man. A lot of people don't take ODB seriously, but man, ODB was a brilliant guy. ODB was intelligent. ODB know the math, he know the lessons. Like ODB was that dude as far as the mind works. But you know how the media likes to portray those individuals and make them appear to be crazy. So a lot of people wasn't taking ODB seriously. So when he came out and said that, yeah, the government killed Tupac and Biggie and nobody can change my mind, they was just laughing. They wrote it off like this dude crazy, this dude is joking. Oh, wow, he telling the truth. Oh, wow, he telling the truth, man. What they say, the truth is stranger than fiction. But ODB got on that platform, got on MTV, spoke his entire mind and said some things that you could tell. I think the dude name is what, Carson Daly or whatever his name was, man. But you could tell he was uncomfortable with what he said. When ODB said that about the government killing Tupac and Biggie, man, you gotta respect an individual that's willing to get on a platform where you know millions of people are watching and you literally say something along those lines. When you're not afraid to speak your mind on a platform like that, man. When I watched that and I saw the response that the people gave ODB when he spoke his mind, I was like, man, this world is crazy out here. It's crazy. And that's how I start to feel a lot of times during this particular time that we living in. When I start to speak my mind in regards to certain subjects, it's like the response you get. Society literally will paint you out to be a crazy and psychotic and bipolar individual simply because you may speak the truth about the government and its system. And this is all by design. So anytime you start speaking about the government's involvement in something, they automatically about to start labeling you as a lunatic, as somebody that's crazy. Because we got a lot of sheep that's been programmed by this very government that we criticize. So a lot of people are afraid to criticize that government. A lot of people are afraid to say things like the government was behind the death of or the killings of Tupac and Biggie, which they were. I mean, that was an actual fact. ODB said it, but it was an actual fact. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. And when you really study the roots of it, see, people, a lot of times when you say, oh, no, the government wasn't behind Tupac getting killed, man, Tupac was wilding out. You got to understand the reason why they were killed in the first place. Tupac and Biggie were killed because of this whole manufactured East Coast versus West Coast war. Government was behind that. Government was behind that. Just like the government was behind the creation of these gangs, Bloods and Crips. They gave you a movie. They gave you a movie called Colors, right? Before this movie came out, you had these same dudes that ended up being Bloods and Crips for the most part. They was out here B-boys. They was out here dancing. Then this movie came out and it influenced them to pick a side, pick a color. This is all manufactured. This is all manufactured. But when you start speaking like that, everybody wants to paint you out to be crazy. When you start talking about, I'm not getting a jab, Kyrie Irving, for example. I talked about this in a previous stream. When you start talking about not getting a jab, you crazy. You crazy. Whatever happened to respecting people's opinions? Whatever happened to each his own? Whatever happened to that? When does that even apply? It seems like that really doesn't apply out here. When people start saying, oh, I respect other people's opinions, to each his own, that doesn't apply, man. That doesn't apply when you start giving the facts when it comes to things along these lines, man, when it get deep in regards to government, the government's involvement in a lot of this nonsense that goes on. Like I said, man, I called it. Everybody was riled up when this whole thing popped off. I called it, man. When this whole thing popped off, everybody was like, nah, man, if they come out with something, I'm not going to rush to get it. I'm not going to get it because that's too fast, this, that, and the third. Everybody was opposed to getting the jab before the jab actually presented itself. Everybody was opposed to getting it. Everybody was opposed to getting it. Then when they actually put that pressure on people, 95% of those people that were opposed to getting it, they got it, left us all in the dust. I knew that was going to happen, though. Shane and Peace, what's happening? So I knew that was going to happen. I was like, man, all of y'all talking tough, saying y'all ain't going to get this, that, and the third. But when it boils down, when the smoke clears, it's only going to be a very small percentage of us that actually won't get it, that actually do not get the jab. It's going to be a very small percentage of us. Very small percentage of us. But if y'all remember, if y'all recall, before the opportunity to get the jab presented itself, it was a whole lot of black folks that wasn't fooling with it. Whole lot of black folks. Whole lot of black folks that was not fooling with the jab. If y'all remember, it was a whole lot of black people opposed to getting the jab, which is why they was putting all that pressure on black people to get it, using all these slick advertising tactics and methods to persuade black people to get the jab. They was doing that for a reason, because we were not trusting it collectively. So we was on board initially. We had a great percentage of us like, nah, I'm not getting this. I'm not getting that. I don't trust it. I don't trust the government. The government ain't never treated us fairly. It's all on board. I know a lot of these people. I know some of them personally. I don't trust it. I ain't getting it. This government, this, that, and the third. Then when the opportunity to get it presented itself, same people. Next thing you know, they got it. So what happened to that energy? What happened to that rebellious energy that you just possessed, that you just had? What happened to it? That fear. That fear. We let the government, we allowed the government, whoever you want to call them, whether you call the government, CIA, FBI, I don't care what you refer to them at, Big Brother, powers that be, 10%, 1%, I don't care what you refer to them as. We allow them to instill a lot of fear in us. We allow them to instill a lot of fear in us, man. When you motivated by that fear, you are going to do anything and everything that oppressor wants you to do. Any and everything. Any and everything, man. When you are motivated by that fear, they now control you because you motivated and you move by that fear. You afraid of, oh, if I refuse this jab, I'm gonna lose my job. That's fear. That's fear. You motivated and moved by that fear, so that peer pressure gonna get the best of you. They done told you, oh, if you get this jab, then if you do get sick with it, then that's gonna minimize the symptoms. So you more than likely to not die and not have severe symptoms. That's fear. That's fear. They motivate, they moving you by that fear. Again, I have studied marketing. I have a degree in marketing. That is one of the tactics and methods that they tell people to use. A lot of corporations, they use the tactic. They promote fear. They know that if we instill fear in this customer base, then we could persuade them and influence them to make a purchase. That is a marketing technique. That is a marketing technique. It's all marketing. Instill the fear, then now we can move them in the direction that we want to move them. Listen, if I'm a personal trainer, if I wanted to sell myself, or if I wanted to create a product and profit off the people, I can literally sell y'all based on fear. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to market to people, and I'm gonna show y'all how this works. If I got a product, or if I'm trying to sell my service and I'm trying to boost my clientele, I'm gonna target obese people. If I really wanted to get these obese people to come to my gym, work out, and pay me, all I got to do is hit them with the facts in regards to the fatality rate behind obesity. That's all I got to do. That's all I got to do. All I got to do is bring up the percentages. The studies say that, and this is this is like not real studies, but I'm gonna just make up a percentage. But if I came to them and say, you know what I'm saying, the studies say that when you are obese, you have a 55% chance. You have a 55% chance of succumbing to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, all of that good stuff. If I start instilling that fear in them, then if you exercise, if you lose the weight, if you exercise, and if you get a personal trainer and lose the weight, you cut that percentage, you cut it down, you chop it. I'm gonna get a lot of people because I instilled that fear. People don't want to die out here. But when you give them the percentages and whatnot, then they like, oh man, me being obese, like the percentage, it increased my chances of dying by 55%. No, what I need to do? What I need to do? Janice, peace, what's happening? Shana, you say they got a pill now? That's not surprising. That's not surprising. That's not surprising at all. That is not surprising. Percy, my brother, appreciate that donation. You say talking about the government. Why they always got money for others, but never for us. Afghani's got a $6 billion package passed, but we can't get reparations for sure. Yeah, they done paid everybody. They done paid the Japanese. Yeah, they done paid everybody. We not going to get any type of reparations, man, unless we take them or create our own system. They ain't giving us nothing. And matter of fact, might as well just stop expecting them to give us anything. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They not about to pay us. And even still, and I'm gonna give them a joy. I done said this a million times. Clocks in, peace, what's happening? I done said this 1,000 times. Not a million, but 1,000. Even if they were to give us reparations, it really wouldn't benefit us because we're gonna get that money right back to them. So even if they gave us reparations, like if they gave us some money, if they gave us a lump sum of money, if they paid us off, we gonna get that money right back to them, and we gonna still be in the same state that we currently in. Due to the way that we are programmed. We are programmed to love our oppressors. We are programmed to feel like we need our oppressor. We are programmed. So if they gave us reparations, we're going to give it right back to them. Just like when they gave us stimulus checks, we gave it right back to them. Like, oh, okay, here goes a stimulus check. We can give it right back to them. We ain't going to take this stimulus check. We ain't going to buy black. We ain't going to support our own people. We're going to give it right back to them. We're going to give it right back to these corporations that we just was protesting against. We're going to give it right back to them. That's what we're going to do. So if they give us reparations, that money will go right back to them. Right back to them. Oh, Janice, you say, yeah, for sure. I swear to y'all, I'm not even going to lie. If I didn't have this little strike that they got, because I'm trying to stay around for the sake of the people. But I swear I want to do about several more videos on this whole jab situation because it is some information that I got that'll bring the house down, but it's like you cannot make they out here literally removing these channels. They banning these channels entirely. So if you come out and you anti-jab, like they are literally removing the channels out here. They don't want this information to surface. They don't want this information to surface at all. Yet they want you to make an informed decision. But they don't want the other side to have a platform. How you gonna make an informed decision? You making a biased decision. So again, they control that media, man. They control the media. They control what you think. They control all that. They control your mind. They control your psyche when they control what you consume. So they got us, man. Listen, they banning a lot, man. So you got to dig deep for a lot of this information, for the truth. Because again, a lot of times what we see is what they want us to see. What we see is what they want us to see. You got to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. A lot of people think you can just Google everything. I'm telling you, that's not a fact. Google doesn't have all the answers. Google only has the answers that they want you to know. So you can't find everything via Google. Stop thinking that. Stop thinking you could just Google search your way to all these answers. You can't. It's some things that they don't want you to see so bad that you can't even Google them. And that's a fact. That is a fact. It's some things that they don't want you to see so bad that you can't even Google them joints. So you cannot Google everything. Google doesn't have all the answers. You're going to have to find, like, listen, you're going to have to pick up the books. Like, you literally, man, we're going to have to pick up the books. That's why I be buying books while I can. Because like I said, it's books back in the day that now it's hard. You can't even find them because they didn't ban books, man. They can ban books. They have power. They can do that. They can tell you, you cannot say this book is not going on our platform. Book is banned. So that's why I buy books, man. And I just keep these books, man, because you never know. You never know. They done already, you know what I'm saying, back in our ancestor days when they destroyed our libraries. So they, you know, they good for destroying our history like that, man. They destroyed our libraries, man. So I be trying to get this information while I can, while it's available. And we got to protect this information. We got to protect this history. We got to protect our story. We got to protect our facts. They didn't try to destroy them several times. So we cannot continue to let them or allow them to get away with it. So we got to protect the information. We got to protect our story. And they know how powerful these books are. Hence why they burn down the libraries. They burn down the libraries, man. The books, if information wasn't that important, why would they burn the library down? Why would they burn the libraries down, man? Why would they do that if these books were not important? If these books were not powerful? If what is within these books or what was within those books is not powerful, why would they burn the library down? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? It's some that was within those books that they didn't want us to know. And of course, that would be the truth. That would be the truth. Shane, for sure. I was one I was one of them ones that actually, when that first popped off, I made a video about that. I made a video about I think I made a video about vitamin C and vitamin D. In regards to how it impacts the immune system. Now you literally got people, it's crazy. It's crazy. I think I seen a post that said, I'm gonna have to paraphrase it because I can't remember what it said verbatim, but I seen a post. It's by a black person, a black man, an elder black man. I seen a post by an elder black man on Facebook that says something along the lines of, we cannot naturally boost our immune system through what we eat, through vitamins and minerals. I literally saw that. Now I'm paraphrasing it, but it was along those lines. It was along those lines in regards to the context. It says something along those lines that we cannot naturally boost our immune system via vitamins and minerals. Basically what we eat. So therefore we need to get the jab. Literally, this is an elder black man. I can't make this up. If I had my phone on me right now, man, I would quote it. I would go to the page right now and I would quote it. Literally, that's what he said. This is what people out here saying. This the information that they not banning though. So he can go out here and say something like that and that don't get banned. That don't get called medical misinformation. But then if I tell somebody that, hey, vitamin C, zinc, vitamin D, vitamin B12, all of these vitamins and minerals help with the immune system, help build the immune system and protect you against There it is. I got to get banned. Medical misinformation. But somebody can come out here and say that you cannot naturally boost your immune system through vitamins and minerals, through what you eat, through nutrition, through the herbs. That's not medical misinformation, though. That's the world we live in. This is the world we live in. Like this is the world we live in. Like that was almost laughable. I started to comment, then I realized I was like, nah, this is pointless. I ain't about to waste my time going back and forth with this person. They obviously got their mind made up. Like that's pointless. I'm not wasting time with an individual that's that lost. Like I said again, artificial reality. It's crazy when you really think about it, man. It's crazy when you really think about those two words combined. Artificial reality. Just think about it. It sounds like a contradiction. Sounds like a contradiction, sounds like an oxymoron, man, but it's definitely real. The reality of it is we are surrounded by a lot of artificial and a lot of fake people, a lot of individuals that are very comfortable being fake, very comfortable being artificial. And that's a dangerous word. That's dangerous. That's dangerous to yourself, and that's dangerous to us. Those of us that are not comfortable being artificial. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. You got a bunch of black people that are cool and content with living like the oppressor, living like people they don't have no business living like. We comfortable with that. We comfortable. You got a bunch of black people comfortable with relying and depending on these white folks to survive and thrive. We got a bunch of black people that's comfortable and content with depending on the Arabs, the Asians, and all of that good stuff to survive and thrive. Comfortable. Comfortable to the point when you say we need to own more businesses and lands, they looking at you like, nah, no, we don't. They comfortable. That's the world we living in. That's the world we living in until a cop shoots one of us. Now we want to protest. Now we want to hoop and holler. Now we want to boycott. Now we want to do that. But on a day-to-day basis, you got people such as myself, such as all of y'all, letting them know about the system every day, but they don't want to take any action. Then when the cops shoot and kill one of us, now everybody is all of a sudden a revolutionary overnight. Now everybody ready to buck the system. Now that's when y'all got that energy. And that energy usually lasts for about a week and a half. Then it's back to clocking in for the white folks. Back to clocking in for these same corporations, these same racist corporations that we were just protesting against. Back to that. Back to regularly scheduled programming. Reactionary people. That's what we are. Not proactive. Reactionary. That's what we are. They shoot and kill one of us. Now, okay, now we want to protest and boycott. I ain't supporting this. I ain't doing that. I ain't going here. I ain't doing this, that, and the third. For a week and a half. Then it dies down. Then the energy dies down. It's like clockwork. I predict it every time. That's why I don't do any of that protesting. That's why I don't do any of that marching when stuff goes down. Listen, my life 24/7, I'm living like that. My life is a boycott. I'm revolutionary 24/7. Just from my perspectives and the way that I live. 24/7, I'm in revolutionary mode. So I'm not about to go protest and hoop and holler at a system that was designed to shoot and kill us. They don't care anything about us hooping and hollering. Matter of fact, that's giving them the green light to shoot and kill more of us. That's giving them the green light to harm more of us. They like, oh, okay, they want to come out here, so now we can harm more of them. Because they finna go out here, put themselves in harm's way. That's giving us the green light. Let's beat a couple hundred more. Clockwork, man. I'm not about to give them that ammunition. We got to move smarter. Gotta move smarter, man. That's not, we move dumb. We too emotional. Oh, a cop kills us. Oh, why can't we? It's like the kumbaya joint. When a white cop kills the black person, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they doing this. Why can't you believe it? You know how many of your ancestors that came before you and told you the wickedness of these people, the wickedness of the police force. Why are you so surprised? This is what they do. This is what they do. This is what they've been doing. Do you understand the correlation between the Nazis and the police force? Man, Asada Shakur in her autobiography, she dropped that jewel on you. She let you know that when it was a lot of Nazis that came over here and they were the policemen, they were the police officers. So that, come on, man, if they got some origins like that, then why are you surprised when they are shooting and killing us? That's what they do. It's in their nature to do that. It's in their nature to do that. I'm not surprised when they are doing that. They are literally, and it sounds harsh, but you got to understand what I'm saying. They are literally doing their job. That's their job. It's in their nature to do that. And this ain't something that we just saying for shock value. Your ancestors have been trying to warn you about these people. I got a book that's based on the doggone tribe. It's called The Pale Fox. And I'm trying to see, matter of fact, let me grab it. Let me grab that book. It's a book right here, man. Pale Fox. Pale Fox is based on the doggone tribe. Get that book, man. Like, this book is thick, but get that book, man. Pale Fox, man. Pale Fox by the dog. It's based on the doggone tribe, and they give you a lot of little Jews on the wicked white folks, man. Pale Fox. It's in there. You got to read the book, though. Got to read the book. Got to read the book to see what the doggone tribe, see what your ancestors said about these folks, man. Prophecy, man. The prophecy. You got to read that joint. Pale Fox. It's in there. Get that book. And the crazy thing about it is the author, white folks. And so they had to write the truth about themselves, man. They had to write the truth about themselves. So just get that book, man. The Pale Fox. Get this book, man. Y'all know I'm always referencing books. Definitely get this book, man. The Pale Fox. Get this book. Let me know what y'all come away with, man. Let me know what y'all come away with when y'all get the Pale Fox and y'all read that joint. Just digest what's in it. Let me know what y'all come away with. I can tell you what you're gonna come away with. Grab the book, though. Grab the book, man. They let you know the truth. That's just one of many books that let you know the truth. Problem is, we don't want to accept it. Stockholm Syndrome. We are in love with our oppressors. So anytime somebody comes out, speaks the truth, like ODB, you know what I'm saying? When we come out and speak the truth, most of the time you're gonna get more flack from your own people, from black people. I face that. I'm sure some of y'all face that. Every time I speak politically and I go in on white folks, I go in on their history, I get more backlash from black people. Oh, not all white people are racist. Not all white people are like that. You would think I would get that from white folks. You would think I'd get that from white folks. Nah, man, I'd had a lot of white people listen to what I said and they understand what I'm saying because they know listen, white folks know their history. The white folks know their history. You know what I'm saying? So when you start giving them that history, they be like, man, I can't even deny what you're saying. An honest white person, they can't deny what you're saying. And a lot of them they semi-understand what you're saying because, again, it's based on their history. The black people, we so lost. We so blind, deaf, and dumb. Nah, not all white people. Not all white people like that. Not all white people like this. Oh, you talking crazy. You talking that Muslim talk. This, that, and the third. Not understanding that this didn't originate with the Muslims. This didn't originate with no Elijah Muhammad. Man, this preceded them. You had some of your ancestors in Africa. They were the ones that originated this because they were the first ones to encounter these people. So they gave you the game first. This ain't something that just started in America, in the wilderness of North America, us viewing white folks in that light. Matter of fact, you can go talk to your Rastafarian brothers. You could even talk to what they would call the Indians, the red people, whatever you want to call them. People have been telling you about white folks for a very long time. It did not start with the Nation of Islam, but most of the time when people hear that, that's who they associated with. Nah, it precedes them for sure. Precedes them for sure. 100%. All you got to do is do some studying, and you're going to see that train of thought precedes the Nation of Islam. Precedes it. Precedes it. So again, what they say is nothing new under the sun. This perspective is not new. You got to understand when our people first encountered these white folks, man, they would listen. We jotted down what we encountered, what we saw. We jotted it down. We was like, man, what is this group of people? This ain't right. We welcome them with open arms, but man, they kind of savage. We got to teach them how to take baths. We got to teach them the importance of taking a bath. They're not even taking a bath. They're not cleaning themselves. We jotted this stuff down. We jotted down how we had to civilize the savage. Jotted it down. This is recorded history. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that you can easily find a book on and read about. We gave them civilization, basically. We civilized them, man. Civilized them. We taught them how to live. We taught them how to survive and thrive. We taught them. Oh, yeah, Coach Sean, yeah, for sure. And I got a book on that. I got a book on that too. I gotta find that book, but I got a book on that showing the proof. I got a book on I got a book on the Indians. I got a book on the original cowboys being black. People always associate cowboys with white folks, with Westerns. Nope. I got books on that. I got a book on the original cowboys being black and horse jockeys. Y'all heard me talk about that briefly. The jockeys. When a lot of people think about jockeys, they don't think about black people. But when they was out here racing horses and that first popped off, black people, we was dominating that. But they discriminated against us and they really got us out of that industry. But we was dominating that. So I got something on the cowboys, us being horse jockeys, boom, all of that. Indians being black. So when you think cowboys, you do not think black off the rip. Well, the average person, we not average, but the average person, if they hear cowboy, they thinking somebody white. They thinking of a white Western movie. They not thinking of somebody that's black. They ain't thinking of somebody that's black. Oh, Jadis, for sure, man. Listen, them Rastafarians was on it. Them Rastafarians still be on it in regards to the white folks. Thunder Peace, what's happening? Avid, you asked about the best source of calcium plant-based. Man, you could get a lot of the dark leafy greens, but an under the radar source of calcium, sesame seeds. That's an under the radar source of calcium, source of plant-based calcium. Sesame seeds. Get you some sesame seeds, man. But dark leafy greens, you're getting a lot of calcium. If you do the like the almond milk, the oat milk, the hemp milk, all of those milks have calcium as well. That'd be the easiest way to get the daily recommended amount of calcium, honestly, because you're supposed to get about 1,000 milligrams of calcium a day, roughly. That's on the safe side. You can probably aim to get a little bit more than that. But yeah, sesame seeds is under the radar source of calcium, and you could easily throw that in the smoothies because it's like small. The seeds are small. But yeah, if you drink any of those milks, like the almond milk, the hemp milk, the oat milk, any of that, those are great sources of calcium as far as helping you get to that 1,000. All the other sources of calcium, you would have to eat a lot of them joints to get the daily recommended amount. So it's easier to just drink one of those milks, get like the unsweetened version or like the hemp milk. That's a pretty solid milk. Just get the unsweetened version, man. Drink you a few glasses of those, and you'll get closer to it, and then get you some sesame seeds and eat some greens. You'll be right at the 1,000. And along with that, calcium is nothing without magnesium. So you want to make sure you are getting the proper amount of magnesium as well. And again, dark leafy greens and beans and whatnot are great sources of magnesium. So make sure you're getting your magnesium up along with the calcium, because if you're just getting your calcium up, but you lacking magnesium, the calcium is not being properly absorbed. So you got to be mindful of that. But yeah, man, it's a weird, strange world we live in out here, man. A lot of people are afraid to literally think for themselves, and it's crazy out here, man. People are afraid to think for themselves. And when you are one of the ones that are not afraid to think for themselves, the way that you get viewed, the way that you get treated. Like, we out here, man, we living in the world, man, we getting mistreated thoroughly. We can't say what we want to say on YouTube. We can't say what we want to say in general. Like, we facing all type of consequences these days. We done been speaking about this for years, man, them regulating the internet, censorship, and things along those lines. Well, that time is here. It's no longer approaching us. That time is here. Like, you better really watch what you say, or you about to be banned severely. Like, all this type of stuff, man. YouTube and all these platforms are real watered down and mainstream now, man. It's sensitive, man. You cannot say anything, man. Your channel will get banned. You will get these strikes. Like I said, I'm sitting on one strike right now. and all I did was criticize a video. Like, that's all I did. And I got my strike. So it's a real sensitive time that we are in. Real sensitive time. And a lot of people are afraid to speak their mind because some of these platforms are paying. So they don't want to lose that money. But like I say, at the end of the day, when you provide value to the people, man, when you give the people what they need, and people need that information, the people going to take care of you. The money is going to come. We can't be too motivated and concerned about this money. You can't be too concerned and ran by this money, man. You can't let this money control you. You can't let this money control you to the point where it's restricting your freedom. The money is going to come, man. Just focus, man. Focus on what it is that you need to do. Focus on yourself. Focus on your health. Focus on your purpose. Focus on your mission. The money will follow. The money will be there, man. It's nothing. You can manifest that money. You can manifest that money. You can manifest that money, man. But we afraid. We afraid to lose that job because we don't know how we're going to generate enough revenue and income. We afraid. Don't be afraid, man. Use the power of that mind. Use the power of that mind, man. I'm telling y'all, the mind is powerful. Mind is powerful. Use the power of that mind. Don't allow that fear to get the best of you. Don't allow that fear to force you into making a decision that you did not want to make. Becoming one of them. No. Be free. Be free out here, man. Be free. Be powerful. Be great. Do not be ran and controlled by that fear, man. I'm telling you, I'm not making a decision based off of fear, based off of peer pressure. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So if I need to manifest something, then that's just what I'm gonna do. If I gotta sacrifice a few dollars, then that's what I'm gonna do. That money gonna come back to me. That money gonna come back to me. My health is more important. My principles are more important. Unlike most people, man, I try to stand for something out here, so I won't fall for anything. So I like to stand on my square, man. I'm not about to, all right, I'm gonna get off this square for a minute because the peer pressure done got the best of me. Once you get off that square, there ain't no stepping back on there, man. I'm standing on my square, man. There's certain things that I stand for, certain things that I won't do, certain things that I'm just not gonna do it. No matter what type of pressure they put on me, I'm not doing it. So that's when you got to use the power of the mind, man. If you're in a situation where you are in a certain field and they trying to force you to get the jab and you don't want to get it, use the power of the mind. Ask your mind, all right, man, what do I need to do to dodge this bullet? The mind is going to give you some answers. The mind is going to give you some answers. It's going to give you some answers, man. The mind is going to give you some answers, man. The mind will not let you down. The mind will not let you down at all, man. So y'all, listen, y'all, a lot of people don't understand how powerful they are, man. I be trying to tell people this all the time, man. People don't understand how powerful they are, man. Don't let the fear of losing that job stop you, man. Listen, if your principle is I'm not getting this jab and this job is trying to make you get it, then that job is not for you. That job is not for you. It's time for you to do something else. It's time for you to do something else, man. That's how you gotta look at it. All right, this job wasn't for me. Yeah, I gave him 20 years of my life, whatever. I'm gone now. It's time for me to do something else. And then use the power of the mind to manifest what that something else is. Mind won't let you down. Ray, a V for Vendetta, one of my favorite joints. And matter of fact, what's crazy, I started watching that Squid Game joint. That movie that's what's about to happen, really. Squid Game, that little Netflix series, that's a reflection of what's about that's the world they trying to create. That's the world they trying to create. That is the world they try. If you don't do what we say, pow, off with your head. That's the world they try to create because it's a game. Like, this world is literally a game, just like that joint. That's where the world is headed. That's their vision for the world, man. Percy, my brother, appreciate the donation once again. You say what you're talking about. The people were fighting about free speech on the web about 15 years ago. I forgot what it's called, but the people went to Capitol Hill, but the web slowly got censored. For sure, I was one of the ones. Listen, it wasn't 15 years ago. For me, it was about 10 years. It's about 10 years. I've been talking about it for So yeah, it's about 10 years, about 10 or 11 years. I've been talking about censorship and them regulating the internet. This back when I used to watch C-SPAN, and they was talking about this stuff heavy back in the day. Heavy back in the day, but it wasn't in full effect. Like it wasn't that bad. Now it's horrible. Like back then, you would still get like it was still a lot of things, man, that was bucking, banging on the system that was on YouTube, and you can find it online. Now it's horrible. Like 10 years ago, you was able to find a lot of things on YouTube that you cannot find at all now. So now it's a full-time reality. So yeah, the censorship and all that, they was talking about it then. They were implementing some things then, but it's way worse now. Way worse. Like it's in full effect now. They full-time with it now. Back then it was part-time. It's part-time. Now it's in full effect. Full effect, man. It's like it's just full effect, man. It's full effect. Watch what you say. Are we gonna ban you? Thunder, what you say? I seen someone say when I said boundaries, that's me trying to keep you in my life, not push you away. Now that's an interesting quote there. Very interesting quote. And Dronny, what you say? Humans are robots now by individual humans who have money and influence, turning them into slaves for sure. Still, slavery didn't go anywhere. It just changed forms. Like that's energy. So slavery didn't die, just changed forms, man. That's it. Oh, Cheyenne, yep, for sure. To Renzo, and for sure, that's what it is. That's why most of these jobs gonna require you to get the job. So it's time for us to create for self. Yeah, that Squid Game joint, like I'm just one episode in, but the first episode I could tell you that's where the world is headed. At least that's what they want. That's their vision. That's their vision. Yeah, to Renzo, all of them. Game of Thrones, like all of that. All of that. Yeah, the Black Planet. Yeah, they own it, man. They own it. They own it. They own it, man. We listen. We robots. We slaves. I mean, you born in debt. Like you born on owing money. Literally, you born owing money. Like that's the world we live in. I done pulled up that debt clock, the U.S. debt clock, like several times on this platform. Several times. Like literally, like you don't understand how much debt you in as a U.S. citizen. Like we are just born in all type of debt, man. I can pull up that clock right now. Y'all can just see how crazy the numbers are. I always like to put. I remember when I got that Jew, when somebody showed me about that clock, it's just crazy, man. The amount of debt that this country is in. Then they want to try to penalize you for being in debt. we just learning from the government, man. We just moving like the government move. I'm owing money because I'm trying to be like our government. Clocks in, yeah, for sure. That Wu-Tang joint is nice. It's nice. JF Peace, what's happening? Yep, underscore. You got I made a statement. I don't even know if I wrapped this in a song, but I think I put this somewhere in a song, paraphrasing it. I was like, man, we can't even afford to die out here. Like people literally cannot afford to die. That's the world we living in. Can't afford to die. Some people die right now. It's like the family about to go broke and bankrupt trying to bury them. That's the world we living in, man. Folks can't afford to die out here. Folks can't afford to die. Some people dying will bankrupt the family. Literally. If some people, certain people, if they were to die right now, it will bankrupt the family. The family will be all bad. Trying to bury them. Straight have to go bankrupt. Straight go broke, burying a loved one. That's the world we living in, man. People can't afford to die. Can't afford to pass away out here, man. It's expensive to die. It's expensive to live. It's expensive to die. Clocks in for sure. Got to create that. Got to create our own system, man. Like we got to come together. We got to, and again, we living in some pivotal times, man. Really, all we gonna have is us in a minute, man. Literally. I know a lot of people right now, personally, struggling to find, like struggling to, they really not, it ain't a struggle to find employment because a lot of people are so-called hiring because people ain't really fooling with these jobs. But a lot of people are having hard times keeping employment that don't want to get this job. So essentially, man, we gonna have like the people that are adamant about not getting a job, we gonna have to create jobs, man. We gonna have to create jobs, man, literally, because they discriminating against those of us that don't want to get the job. So a lot of these people are having hard times keeping jobs because they like, man, I got this job. They didn't say anything about the jab. Then next thing you know, they was like, man, you got to get the jab, this, that, and the third. And they don't want to get it. So they're going to have to keep having jobs. But every other job pretty much is going to ask you to get it or require you to get it. So those of us that are not striving to get the jab, like we going to have to create jobs. We going to have to create opportunities. Because that's the way the world is headed, man. That's where the world is headed. So I know people personally right now having a hard time because they trying to stand on that square, man. But it's like they having a hard time getting a job that is respecting that. But that's the world that we live in. Billy offers show. I always said, I say integration destroyed us. So I say that all the time. Integration destroyed us. Integration destroyed. When we was segregated, man, we was doing our own thing. We had to do our own thing. Segregation to me, like segregation was cool. Segregation was cool until they came and tampered with us, destroying our neighborhoods, killing us, and things along those lines. Segregation would be cool if they just leave us alone. But integration to me killed us. Integration destroyed our knowledge of self and things along those lines. Man, integration destroyed us. I made a whole video about that. LN, peace, what's happening? But yeah, integration was part of the downfall of Black people in my eyes. Striving to be accepted by these white folks and things along those lines. Like that right there was our downfall. Wanting to be integrated as if that was like better than being segregated. So we wanted to be accepted. We wanted our kids to go to school with them. Again, you want your kid to go to school with the white kids just to be miseducated. You want to work you want to work on these jobs along with the white folks just to be discriminated against, just for them to continue to make more than you, and you feel like you overwork, underpaid. Like this is the type of stuff that we was on. But when we were segregated, man, we had to create our own businesses, create our own income, create our own revenue. We had to. We couldn't go on the white side of town. So we had to create everything on the Black side of town. We had movie theaters, we had cleaners, we had restaurants. We had hotels, we had motels, we had all of that. We had all that because we had to. Integration happened, all right, that killed all that drive. We don't feel like we need to have all of this because now we can just go to the white people stores, white people locations, the white people theaters, the white people cleaners. We can do that. So yeah, integration killed us, man. Integration killed us. It destroyed us. I stand on that. Integration, part of the downfall of Black people, part of it. Segregation is one of the answers for me as long as we are left alone and allowed to do our own thing in peace. But when we integrated, man, trying to be with these white folks, trying to go to their schools and be on their jobs and work with them and this, that, and the third, part of the downfall, man. Part of the downfall. But a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people, when I start talking like that, a lot of people, you know, they get in their feelings and they talk about all you speaking that hatred, you spitting that hatred, not really striving to understand what's being said. Because again, when you study our history, when we were thriving and surviving, when we was thriving, we was on top, we were not integrated with white folks. We was on one part, we was in one region, we was in several, we was all over. But we was mainly in a region doing our own thing, wasn't studying the white folks. They came over and started tampering with us. So if we want to get back on top, why not go back to being segregated and separated like we were when we were on top? Listen, people don't understand. Power is never going to be evenly distributed when you got groups of people, different ethnic groups. Like, it's not going to happen. You're never going to have white people and Black people exist in a country and the power is evenly distributed, where it's 50-50. It's never going to happen. Anytime you got a situation like that, the power distribution is going to be uneven. It's going to be uneven. I was reading in a book and they stated it. They was like, dude, why would they was like, listen, white people, they don't want to educate you in a sense of, they don't want to educate you to the point where it takes away their power. Like, why would white folks educate us to the point where we gonna end up being more powerful than them? No, they want to keep that power for themselves. They want to benefit. They want to reap the rewards and the benefits of that power system. So why would they teach other people how to take the power from them? That don't even make any sense. That don't even make any sense. So they got to keep you beneath them in order for them to maintain the power. So the power would never be evenly distributed. Never. Never. White folks ain't never going to educate you to the point where you reach an A level in regards to power in a system that they created. So again, why are you protesting and hooping and hollering to the system, talking about equality? It will never be that. It will never be 50-50. They will never treat you the same way they treat the people that look like them. It's never happened. Never happened. It's going to always be uneven, man. No matter who is at the top, the power is never going to be evenly distributed. If you put black people at the top, guarantee you the power ain't going to be evenly distributed. That's just not, it's not how it works, man. It's not how it works. So I don't even understand why we even aim for that. Why we even speak that. Like, it's never going to be that. It's never going to be that. Never. And that's just a fact. No, Andrani for sure. And they're gonna always take sides. That's how they get us with divide and conquer. Just like you got the anti-jabs, you got the pro-jabs. Like, those are sides being taken to the point where people don't even want to associate with you. You know what I'm saying? If you on a certain side. That's the way of the world, man. It's divide and conquer. That's one of their methods. That's one of their tactics. Divide and conquer, man. They always getting us to choose sides. Then when we choose sides, now we at odds with one another. Now we at war with one another because we choosing sides out here. So that's one of their famous or infamous tactics, man. So we always choosing sides, man. Then we choose sides and then we go to war with one another and not them. Not the people that created the sides for us to choose from. D for sure. Yeah, I'm very thankful, man. I wish I would have got the information before I hit 20. Well, I probably was right at like 18 and 19 when I started really getting the information. I wish I would have got most of the information when I was like 5 and 6. You know what I'm saying? I was surrounded by bits and pieces of some of this information. Like, my peoples used to have like Khalid Muhammad Farrakhan little tapes and whatnot, to the point where if I would have listened to some of it as a kid, it would have resonated with me and that would have sparked some interest in some other things, you know. But it wasn't consistent. I ain't started getting consistent with it until I hit about 18 or 19. But there's some people that never get consistent with it. There's some people that never get consistent with the information, man. Never get consistent with the knowledge. Never get consistent with the history. So better late than never for me. I was glad I got it started getting it at 19. I'm glad I started opening my eyes at 18 and 19. Start seeing the truth. Start seeing the world for what it really is, not what I wanted it to be. Yeah, we all want the world to be a better place. We want it to be this kumbaya type of vibe, but it's not, though. We want everybody to get along, but it's not going to happen like that, though. That's not the way of the world. Oh, Z, for sure. We was employing them big time. And you know what I'm saying? They ain't like that. They ain't like that at all. Just like I said in that Slocum massacre book about the little massacre that went on in Texas. It was a Black Wall Street type of vibe. Whole reason that joint started is because white people had to take orders from a black man and they ain't like it. They ain't like it. And that started that whole massacre because white folks had to answer to a black man. Now just imagine if we reverse that. Now they was out here killing thousands, millions of black people for some of the craziest of reasons. Just imagine, listen, come on, man, just think about what I just said. A whole massacre originated and started or began because white folks or a certain white man did not want to take orders from a black man. Just how do you think we feel? taking orders from these white folks. Like, just imagine if we got the energy one day and say, you know what? I'm tired of taking orders from these white folks. Instead of just going to killing spree. But they was able to do that, and things were justified. People were never locked up. People were never killed. People didn't have, like, come on, man. Come on, man. Listen, a white girl say this dude blinked at me, and now his little 14-year-old got the, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that happening. Stuff like that. We had to lose our lives because of little stuff like that. I'm a manager. I'm overseeing white folks, and I'm just simply giving them directions. They don't like it. Now I got to die. Now, just imagine if we had some of that same energy, how we would get viewed. That's what our ancestors had to deal with. They dying because they giving directions. They giving orders. So I felt like that's crazy. Justin Peace, what's happening? Like, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. If we get into it with our manager, we get into it with a white manager, they label us hot heads. They label us all type of stuff, man. We get labeled all type of stuff, but they was out here killing us because they didn't want to take orders from us. We argue with the manager, we argue with the boss, then we get all type of negative labels just by arguing, just by disagreeing with something that they said, disagreeing with a policy. Oh, he's an angry black man. But y'all was killing us because we gave y'all some orders. Come on. Come on, man. Our ancestors had to die because we gave y'all some orders. We was directing y'all because somebody appointed us as the manager of an operation and y'all didn't like it. Come on, man. That's what we was out here dying for. Like, come on, man. Like, that's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. So Renzo, my brother, appreciate that donation. You said they label slaves as having, oh yeah, drapetomania. Yeah, for fleeing captivity. Yeah, man. I got several books that talk about that. Yet they fled from Europe here thinking themselves as saviors. Epic failure. Can't even make that make sense. It makes no sense. Like, it literally makes no, like, literally. Literally. Like, when the first time I read that in a book, like, that's exactly how I perceived it. That's exactly how I perceived it. I was like, hey, this makes no sense. Just think about stuff like the Boston Tea Party. Like, just think about all that type of stuff. Literally, just think about why they came over to the New World. Just think about it. When you think about the actual science behind, when you think about the reason why they came to the New World, Boston Tea Party, all of this type of stuff. They were out here being rebellious in regards to a system that they didn't want to bow down to. So they fled. They literally fled. But then when we over here and we get tired of them and we start killing, we start fleeing, then they want to label us all type of nonsense. But that's literally what they did. That's literally what led some of them to come over here. Literally. Like, literally. I mean, that don't, like, you literally cannot make that make any sense. The ultimate contradiction. Oh, Billy, for sure. Oh, I done been talking about it for, like, yeah, we done been talking about this for a minute, man. Yeah, it's some major things about to pop off. Major things. Marcel, peace, what's happening? Yeah, major things about to pop off. Major. I just hope the world is ready for it. That's why I say it's time for us to soldier up. It's time for us to come together, man, band together, because again, at the end of the day, it's gonna be all we got. When things pop off, we're gonna need a team, we're gonna need a squad. We're gonna need each other first and foremost. Like, that's what we're gonna need when things pop off. And it feels like things gonna pop off shortly. We're gonna need troops. At that point, we ain't gonna have, like, we gonna need troops. We ain't gonna be able to talk about it. We're gonna have to be about it. We're gonna need them. We're gonna need them. Yeah, it's Renzo for sure. And that, I mean, that's funny. It's always funny to me. Always funny to me, man. Like, they do not want to. When we start talking to them and giving them orders, they program. They not taking orders from us. Like, that's laughable. But we supposed to follow their orders. That's what they want us to do. But when we got to manage them, it's a problem, man. I know personal examples of that. Black dudes being sabotaged because he got to give directions and orders to the white employees. And they not liking it. They not too fond of it. It's like, really? So now you trying to sabotage this man? Now he gonna lose his job because you don't want to listen to him. And you making it hard on him. And he's just trying to do his job, quote unquote, and you making it difficult. I done seen situations like that to where the black dude just up and quit. Like he's just like, man, I'm not working under these conditions. I done seen it. So like I said, I be doing personal examples of a lot of this stuff that I speak about. Surround me. It's 2021, stuff still happening. But again, we sweep it under the rug. We want to act like this type of stuff ain't real. We want to act like it ain't real in the field out here. Well, it's real in the field. Trust me. Real in the field. It's really happening. It's really happening out here, man. It's really real in the field, man. And we got to get ready. Again, a lot of these robots, man, a lot of these people that are deaf, dumb, and blind, what we call 85%, man, a lot of them are lost causes, man. We got to stop wasting that energy trying to reprogram them, man. They're going to have to wake up on their own. Self-savior, man. We can't be trying to save everybody else, especially when they're not willing to be saved in the first place. We got to focus on ourselves, and we got to focus on those of us that are already on the same type of frequency and vibe. That's how we're going to have to operate and function. Those individuals that ain't striving to understand or at least listen to what it is that we got to say, got to leave them where they at. We got to let them walk. We got to let them walk into that gas chamber. They're going to have to walk into it. I don't care if it's your family and friends, man. You have to detach, man. I know most of our family members are lost right now, man. They'll walk right into that gas chamber. They'll walk right into that gas chamber, man. Right into a FEMA camp. They'll walk right into it. They'll lay down right into a FEMA coffin and let them close it right on them. Get buried alive. A lot of them will walk right into it, thinking that it's going to help them. Or they come out and say, well, if you lock yourself in this FEMA casket, it'll help prevent you from getting sick, this, that, and the third. A lot of people go right into the coffin like an idiot. A lot of people go walk right into that coffin and lay down in it and let them close it and lock it like an idiot. All they got to do is tell them to do it. That's how bad off a lot of us are. They'll go right into that FEMA coffin, lay down, let them lock it, and think that it's saving their life like an idiot. That's how lost these people are, man. We got to allow them people, they just going to have to walk into that danger zone. Can't be saving. We try to save some of these people so bad that we going to end up walking into that coffin along with them, trying to talk them out of it. Now we in the coffin with them. So we going to be trying to talk these people out of the gas chamber while we in the gas chamber suffering with them. We got to allow them to make their decisions, man. I'm no longer on it. I'm no longer trying to convince these people that don't want to listen. You don't want to listen, that's on you. You don't want to hear what we got to say, that's on you. You want to call me crazy, that's on you. I'll be crazy. I done been a lot worse. Crazy is a compliment to me. So you calling me crazy, I'm cool with that. I'll be crazy. Crazy is cool to me. Crazy is cool. When you say I'm crazy again, that's a compliment. I appreciate it. I thank you. Crazy is not something negative to me. So calling me crazy is not hurting my feelings, man. Calling me crazy is not hurting my feelings, man. I'll be all of that, man. I'll be all of that. When all this stuff pop off, at least one thing I know, I'm not going to willingly walk into a situation to where I'm about to just allow these people to just chop my head off. I ain't gonna do that. At least I'm going out fighting. I ain't just about to willingly sign up for them to just chop my head off. Just walk right into it. Nah, we gonna put up a fight over these ways, man. I ain't just gonna walk into it. All right, cool. Go ahead, chop my head off. No, I ain't going out like that, man. We fighting. We going out. We fighting. We fighting. That's how I'm going out, man. Going out swinging. You know, we're going out swinging. That's the way we're gonna have to do it, man. That's the way of the world. That's how we gonna have to do it, man. Point blank. Period. We can't be soft, man. We cannot be afraid out here because it's going down. It's going down. They making us stand for something. They testing you right now. They calling a lot of our bluffs right now. All right. Let's see how tough some of y'all are. Y'all talking about y'all ain't gonna get a jab. Let's see. Let's see. We finna implement all these policies, all these rules. We gonna all right. We gonna see how many of y'all really about that life. Best believe they taking inventory. They know who ain't got the jab. They know we all in the system. Those of us that ain't got the jab, we all in the system. They know who ain't got it. They know who ain't listening to them. They know who not bowing down. They know they got our names in the database, man. They know. They know ain't nothing new. We ain't getting away with that. They know exactly those of us that are not fooling with it, that don't have it. They know. They know who we are. They know exactly who we are. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. When it's time, it's time. It's a time for war. It's a time for peace. When it's time to go to war, we got to be ready. We got to be ready mentally and physically. So you got to get that body in shape. Got to get that stamina, that endurance up, that strength up. And you got to get that mind. Got to get that mental endurance, that mental stamina, that mental strength and power. I get that up also. Because we're going to need all of that. D, definitely. Get it in, man. Get it in. Start it. We all need to have some form of business going on, man. Those of us that are not striving to get a job, we all need to have some sort of business. Some sort of business. It is what it is by default, man. That's just how you're going to have to operate. You know what's crazy is, what's crazy, some of these occupations are requiring people to get jabbed up, and some of these people working from home. So, that don't even make that makes no sense. That don't make any sense to me. How you requiring somebody to get a jab and they working from home? But whatever though. I get it. I get it, man. But with that being said, man, I had about an hour. I done served my purpose for the day. Definitely served purpose, man. I think I got what I needed to get off my chest, man. I was in vent mode a little bit today. So again, I appreciate y'all on this wonderful Friday, man, tapping in with the kid for about an hour and some change, man. But I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Friday, man. And y'all definitely do that. Put y'all head in them books, man. Get the Pale Fox, the book that I recommended for the day. Make sure y'all get that book, man. Continue to read, man. Get that knowledge, man. Read yourself, read these books, man. Get the knowledge both ways. Study yourself, study these books. There's a lot of truth in these books about the enemy, man. And we got to study the enemy in order to conquer that enemy. So study these books, man. Study yourself. Make sure you eat those healthy foods, exercise, and getting that stamina and that strength up, man. All that good stuff. And resting up on top of that. Meditating to get the mind right. So do all of that good stuff, man. And with that being said, man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Friday. I may strive to tap in with y'all tomorrow. Probably not going to be able to do it Sunday. So tomorrow might be my only weekend day where I'm be able to tap in. But it is what it is, man. I've been streaming a lot less lately. Again, just focusing on the mental. And like I said, I'm preparing for this podcast joint, this podcast format that I'm gonna introduce to y'all on my born day next month. And that's when we really gonna start doing presentations and dropping a lot of information. So I'm holding off until that time, man. Like first episode, we just gonna go right in and just start revealing all type of information. Y'all know the stuff I talk about, man. I'm reading the book right now, breaking down, and I done read several books on diabetes, man. But I'm reading a book right now, man, just breaking down how to reverse diabetes, written by a doctor himself. Since people say we don't trust science, but I got a book by a whole doctor. All the books I got about diabetes and reversing it are written by doctors. So I got books on diabetes, how to reverse it. A lot of people suffering from diabetes. Simple breakdown on how to reverse it. Simple breakdown. Simple breakdown, man. I'm gonna break stuff like that down, man. Just give y'all the simple Jews. Simple Jews, man. We're gonna start breaking a lot of things down in presentation form. But I'm out though. Y'all enjoy the rest of this Friday. Be easy out here, y'all. Peace.